having a stash, the importance of having a stash. And that's really something that I've been thinking about for quite some time. And I just never had the time to execute this idea. I never had maybe the will, I gotta say. I was like, this is not gonna work. People are going to find and steal everything. Turns out they did not. So we're going to get this started right now. Actually, I've made the edit already at home before. Oh yeah, look at that, an actual Erad video on stream. So we are starting here in this vulture that I have parked somewhere at a secret place on a not so secret moon. We can tell it's yellow, obviously. I'm not going to always do it on yellow. And I have parked right next to it a cutlass. And the cutlass is the ship that I will be using as my stash. And the reason why is because there's only so much that you can put inside a vulture like this. In a vulture like this, you can only put 12 SCU of cargo on the cargo grid. And if you can cram a lot of different cargo containers, I think my record is like 23 SCUs in a vulture like this. But you can put far more many boxes in a cutlass. In fact, in the cutlass here, I have managed to, and that's something that you're going to see in the video later, 64 SCUs of containers in a cutlass. That was absolutely insane. And you're going to see later in the video, and that's the video that's coming up after this one. You're going to see that there were so many containers that when I opened the doors, they all fell off. I could not open the doors because there were so many containers. I had to open the exterior with the button on the cockpit, and when I did that, all the containers went out of the ship. It was so funny. Anyway, so as you can see here, I'm in the cutlass, and I'm going to do something crazy because yesterday I had to leave home, and so I'm going to go to can we hear the audio, by the way? I don't think we can hear the audio. I'm going to leave here in the oh yeah, we cannot hear the audio. I'm going to leave and log out, and hopefully that's going to that's going to work, right? If I log out, will I go back into the bed? Well, that's going to be what we're going to figure out here. Ta-da! Oh, I am back in the ship. Isn't that incredible? Oh yeah, the sound is working now. Okay, that's awesome. So I want to see if I'm exactly where I am. So this happened a couple of hours later, by the way. After I came back home, I thought I'm going to get back in my ship. I'm going to see I still have my containers, and the vulture that I used is still here. And that really shows you, I was really happy, by the way, when this happened, and that really shows you the power of persistent entity streaming. Really, when the servers are not dying, which unfortunately still happens, right? A lot of yous are having 30Ks, including Deplorable Infidel, who is here in the chat today. How is it going, Deplorable Infidel? Sorry, I was not able to answer a little bit earlier, right? But yes, when the servers are working, then the persistence is absolutely top-notch, and it allows you to maintain a stash and just log out where your stash is with your other ship, in this case the vulture, and when you come back, you can get back to work. And that's what I'm doing here. So I took an illegal salvage mission, which you have to pay up front for those missions. It's about 30,000 of UEC, and I'm trying to open the door here. It doesn't work. It should be somewhere. And for some reason, there seems to be a bug where I cannot find the entrance. I was thinking, am I sideways? Not really very familiar with the vulture, as you can see. Plus, the lightning does not help at all. Oh, there it is. All right, tiny little button here. I wish it was a little bit bigger. There we go. Boom. It's on. Because when you do those illegal missions, you've got some illegal containers as well. And it looks like we're having, well, about 5 here. 5 illegal containers. So that's going to bring some extra revenue, especially if some of the commodities that are in are not necessarily entirely legal, if you see what I mean. So let's get this inside, and we're going to do so. You gotta be careful also with what's in those containers, because RMC, when RMC is legal and you sell the RMC at some of the TDDs in reverse, and you sell them for about 7,000 UEC. But if I'm picking up some regular containers, like some of the containers can have like Borets, or they can have barrel, right? Those are worth 2,000 UEC. So it may not be worth the time, because you're spending time EVAing outside of the ship. You're spending time, bringing those containers in the ship. Plus, those containers, they do take some space that would otherwise be used by RMC, the RMC that you'll collect off the ship. And so, what I've noticed from making this video is that unless these are drugs, then it's really not worth picking up regular containers. Now, sure, if you pick up the containers that are like regular ore, you are not going to get arrested by the police, right? But nevertheless, you're here to make money. You're taking the illegal mission anyway, so it's just not worth it. And I've noticed that in about half an hour, if you're really effective at what you do, you are really quick, you know how to use your recycling, not really recycling, your salvaging lasers, well, you can easily collect 20 SCU of materials off a caterpillar. So yeah, unless it's drug, it's really not for it. Plus, at the same time, you see, we have to put everything on the cargo grid. So, well, luckily, most of that is drugs, so it's going to be worth it. But some of those containers are not, and it's something that I'm not going to say I'll regret it, but it's a lesson learned for the future. So we're going to close this right here, and we are going to pick up everything. So after half an hour, I've already collected 12 SCUs here. I decided not to waste too much time because I was not very effective this time, and I was really afraid that the security forces would come. So I came back to my stash on Yela. Obviously, it's not always going to be on Yela, but let's just say that if those asteroids have those illegal salvage missions, and being on Yela is very practical because you're just down there, right? Beautiful sunset here on Yela, by the way, with amazing colors. Again, we're enjoying how beautiful Star Citizen is. So this is where my stash is. Of course, as you can see, right, it's an edge shelter, but maybe I'll pick up somewhere else. You never know. And that's what I would suggest, right? Don't always go to the same place, but try to avoid places that have a lot of traffic. Usually, places like those don't have a lot of traffic. People are going to say in the comment section, but Erad, now that you told everybody, everybody's going to do the same. We'll see. That's going to be that's going to give more opportunities for entrepreneurs in the verse if people do the same. Anyway, back at the Cutlass. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to unload the Vulture, and I will put the crates inside the Cutlass. Now again, as I said, the reason why I do that is because when you are going with your Vulture and your 12 SCUs of cargo, well, you have to sell them eventually, and you have to sell them at TDDs. It takes time. It's very time consuming to go to a TDD. You have to cross a thick atmosphere. You have to land at a spaceport, walk to the transit, take the transit, and then walk to the TDD and do the all the way around. By the time you have finished doing all this walking simulation, well, you could have done an entire salvage run at the same time. In half an hour, I can get 20 SCU. And look, already you can see in this Vulture, I've got a lot of containers. Like, this is off-grid. But because I'm not going to go to a TDD, I can put it directly in my stash. In this Vulture here, no, sorry, it was not 12. I remember when I did that yesterday. It was 17. I had 17 SCU of containers. So there we go. Everything's going to be put in the Cutlass right here. Looking pretty nice indeed. Now I'm going to reorganize a little bit here those containers, because very quickly when you have a stash like this, very quickly it can become a mess, and we don't want that, right? Also, I'm closing the door just in case some people are coming and shoot me when I'm busy rearranging all those boxes in the cutlass. Now, I could have pushed that container a little bit further down, actually. It's not I didn't know, it's just I wasn't sure, but it's something that it's a mistake that I would not repeat in the future. You can actually not stack two rows, but you can stack 3 rows of containers here in the back of the cutlass. So we'll just put them here, the other one on top. I just love doing this, by the way. It's just so much fun handling those containers and sorting everything out. It's like you're stacking. This is money that we were looking at, guys. This is money, and we're just stacking the money on top of the you know, one box after the other, one box on top of the other. This is so cool. I just love to do that. It's really the physicalization of cargo is, along with persistent entity streaming, really is one of the coolest way to play Star Citizen. So we'll put it there and there. And there's another one here. This cargo box obviously looks suspicious. Here we go. Now we're gonna put it here on top. This one here. And this one here. Now, obviously, we're not done yet. I still have quite a bit here. Quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I still have about 12 SCU of RMC to pick up here. So that means that there is enough time for another run. And all I have to do, instead of going back to my vulture, and it's just so complicated, right? When you do that the normal way, it's just so complicated. All I have to do is to leave the cutlass, the stash cutlass, go back to the vulture, go out there in space, do my thing, and then go back to the cutlass. It's as easy as that. So, let's open this here. Opening the door. And I'm back. I'm back this time with the 12 containers. So, once again, we're going to put them in. Boom. I think you guys know the drill already. Is it going to show all of those? Probably we don't want to see that, right? So I'm going to go a little bit faster here. And there we go. I think we're going to go to Horizon after that. Alright, so once the cutlass has been filled, all we have to do is to go to Horizon in this case, because, well, it's the closest landing zone, closest TDD, so of course it's at night. It wouldn't be an ERAD video without going at night. But, well, it's still possible to have a look at where we're going, because the spaceport has some flashy lights that are very practical when you don't know where to go. Just follow the blinking lights and you are in there. Let's have a look at this nice little landing here. Quite happy with this one. And so we are going to go next to the TDD, where you will see the result. How does it look like when you are bringing in a ton of RMC from the stash technique? Now, not everything is RMC, as I said. Some of those containers are looted containers too. So if they're not drugs, then they're not going to pay out so much. Actually, I can tell you how much money I've made out of the drug that I took. I've made about 140,000 Alpha UEC from the few containers. I had 7 containers of drugs, and I made not a lot of money out of those. So next, we are going to go to the TDD. Of course, we have to take this. See, this is what I was talking about, right? Taking the tram is very tedious, very time consuming. You don't want to be doing that every 12 SCU. Absolutely not. That's where I see a lot of advantages in the stash technique. Of course, as I said, there is some risk. The risk is that people may come, people may find your stash, and people may steal what you have, which is why it's very important to have some gear. That's why I got a gun, just in case people are coming. Anyway, we are next going to the TDD, and there we go. So let's have a look here at how much money we are making with this. So all of that was done in a little more than 1 hour, by the way. So we got 44 SCU. So we're gonna sell all the rest here. 32 SCU of RMC for 245,000 of UEC. Yes! Not bad for an hour of work. I got a little bit of Quantinium as well. Ooh, it's 25,000 per unit. That's actually very nice. Now the barrel, that's what I was talking about, right? The barrel, you may not want to pick it up. Next time I will not, right? Same Laranite. Could have been some RC, right? Could have been something else. And the Borés, meh. I mean, it's there, right? So it's money that we were making, but could have more. So we got some Slam, some Widow, some Etam, and some Maze. This was actually sold further down the line for about 145,000 of UEC. So very nice. Overall, I've made, well, about 245,000 of UEC here, minus the drugs. So very satisfactory indeed, and I will be using this technique again. But guys, don't forget that this month we have a giveaway. We're giving away, thanks to Predator Mouse, a Scorpius Enterus. All you have to do is to join our Patreon or YouTube membership program and enter your name on Discord, or for free you can join our video sharing contest as well. I've been Iran. I'll see you guys later. Thank you.